Welcome back to the channel. I hope you're all doing well. I hope you had a good week. Of course, club football is back this weekend. Where hey, always feels like it's a long time since the last game. It seems to kind of take ages to come back around again. Even though it's like, when was it? It is actually 2 weeks to be fair, so it's kind of a long time. So it is what it is. But yeah, welcome back. Obviously, first of all, doing my intros. Big shout out to Let's Talk Sports. A fantastic community that allows other YouTubers to grow their channels. I really do appreciate them. We are live on their platforms too, as well as my own at the moment. So big up to everyone that's kind of checked out my latest videos. Obviously, I did a video on the ownership last week. I did a watch along to the England game as well on Thursday night last week as well, which was quite enjoyable. So if you haven't seen them, appreciate if you go and check those out as well. Obviously, it helps with the watch hours and things like that. But yeah, obviously, we're going to be previewing our game this week. We are back at the John Smith Stadium. We are back on April Fool's Day. Hopefully, Middlesbrough the Fools tomorrow when they come to town. And I'm going to say it's Michael Carrick. Go easy on us, please, and the players as well. But yeah, we have got a guest on. So obviously, just to run through the schedule for tonight, obviously, going to do the main part of the show, the preview to this game this weekend against Middlesbrough, and then we're going to touch upon the ownership as well, of course. Another development this week, obviously a few days ago, the owner being announced. So exciting times ahead for us, and I really am grateful that somebody has come along, and it does look like it's going to be a really good fit as well. But yeah, let's get our guest on before we go into the comments. But yeah, our regular guest on here does come on quite a lot. Obviously, trying to alternate guests each week, as you've probably gathered. But anyway, he's back this week. We can get Tom onto the show now, and obviously, it's always a pleasure to have him on the channel. Welcome on, mate.
Hi, Ryan. How are you, mate?
Yes, I'm all right. Yeah. Hope you're doing well. Hope you had a good week, and really looking forward to
decent to be fair.
Yeah, obviously looking forward to this tonight. We're going to get into the comments first. Hello, Ryan and Tom. Hope you're both okay. Big cup final tomorrow. Yeah. Big up to you, Joseph. Hope you're doing well, mate. Thank you for coming in as always. And yeah, well, there's 8 cup finals, Joseph. So yeah, it's just the start of the cup finals. Let's say. Evening to Ramsey. Hello there, Ramsey, mate. I hope you're doing well. Big up to you for coming in. He says, hopefully April 1st can be the only day that we aren't fools. Yeah, I mean, let's hope so. Let's hope it goes in our favour tomorrow, definitely. And George is in. Evening, Ryan. Good evening to you, George. I hope you're doing well, mate, and big up to you as well. Like I say, do get involved as we go along. Let me know your lineups for the game tomorrow, and your score prediction as well in the chat. And yeah, just you guys in the chat are what you guys make the channel what it is by getting involved as well. So you are always, I really appreciate you getting involved as much as you can in the chat as well. But yeah, see, obviously we are back at home tomorrow against a Middlesbrough team, of course, who are really pushing for them automatic places. They really are. And, the way Sheffield United are going, they may potentially do just that. And because they are really a strong outfit for sure. Obviously our reverse fixture with Middlesbrough took place back in October, if you remember. Obviously, saw us leave the Riverside with a 0-0 draw that day. So, yeah, neither team has got the better of one another this season yet. There will be a winner this weekend, and no doubt about it. I think I've got a feeling it is going to be either us or them. It's not going to be a draw this one. I don't think it's going to be a goalless draw either. But yeah, I mean, Tom, how are you feeling ahead of tomorrow? Obviously, we're on the back of a win against Millwall, and obviously it's been good for the lads to really recover and rest up and obviously work out and train. But you know what I mean. So get ready for this. Obviously, a much needed break for us, to be honest with you. I've never been so happy seen international break actually, because we really needed it, and I think it'll really help us with this running we've got. So yeah, I mean, how are you feeling ahead of tomorrow's game? First of all,
I'm feeling 50-50 because
yeah,
Middlesbrough have been absolutely brilliant. And I think to win going into the international break came at the right time for us. But I'm confident that we can get a result tomorrow, because if we can beat Millwall, why can't we beat Middlesbrough?
yeah, absolutely. And I go back to this narrative that's going around, about Middlesbrough's going to be tough this week and all. I mean, I'm not saying it's not going to be tough, but if you know the Championship, anything can happen and anyone can beat anybody. So let's just calm down a bit. No team is unbeatable in this league, believe it or not. Wherever you are beatable. And obviously we're at home. Hopefully the crowd will be up. We've been given a massive boost this past week with the ownership, and we've got that kind of big cloud. Kind of got rid of it now, if you get what I'm saying, because there was really a lot of there was a big cloud, with all the rumours about administration and all that up in the air. It doesn't really help things, does it? Obviously. So now that's sorted out. Obviously, the confirmation is still yet to be done, but it's pretty much sorted out. So we can just focus on the football. But it's given us all a boost because we were all fearing the worst with the points deduction potentially, which will really have, ruined our. Well, yeah, it would have ruined our chances of staying up effectively. So, yeah. But I'm going to get into more comments. Jess is in. Hello there to you. I hope you're doing well. And I appreciate you coming on. Edward's in. Good to see you back, Ryan. Hey, hello there. I hope you're doing well, mate. And good to see you back in the chat too.
Thanks for calling me by my Sunday name, Jess, by the way.
Yeah. Well, I actually said it as what I call you. But yeah, I mean, we're going to get more into town, obviously, after this. But obviously, as you know, we do focus on the opposition first. So obviously, as I was saying, obviously, Middlesbrough do sit third in the Championship. They're just 3 points behind Sheffield United. And, obviously, it is really close. Borough come into this game on the back of a 4-0 home win against Preston North End before the national break on the Saturday, same day as we played Millwall. Middlesbrough have won 3, drawn 1, and lost 1 of their last 5 games. So they have lost and they've drawn. So hopefully they can add that lost tally to another one tomorrow. But anyway, Michael Carrick, of course, we have to talk about him, don't we? Obviously, he was appointed in October, just 2 days after our trip to the Riverside, of course. I mean, like I said, let's talk about him because, he has been incredible since coming in, he really has, and I've got massive respect for Carrick, actually, and I think he really has proved that, despite the lack of experience, he's got all the qualities to be a top manager, even if it is early days in his managerial career. I think, obviously, when he came in, there was 21st in the league, can you believe? And he's managed to get them up to 3rd. Ironically, at the time, we were needing a manager, and I said we should have gone for Carrick, but of course, we didn't. But I'm just saying, I'm not getting any. I'm just saying. I did actually say that. And of course, he really has to. You've got to give him massive respect for what he's done in that short period of time. I mean, Tom, have you been surprised with how well he's done? To say he hasn't had much experience prior to it. I mean, I know he's kind of done roles, at Man United in the assistant kind of role, but it's a different ballgame going into first team coach, obviously. So, I mean, yeah, what have you made of Carrick, and are you surprised with how well he's done so far?
To be honest, I'm not surprised how well he's done because after he got left Man United, I did a bit of researching today about this. He's actually been speaking to Alex Ferguson of advice and tips. Now, if you want tips off a certain coach, that's probably the person, what he's achieved. But I'm not surprised. I've always said Michael Carrick could be a good coach. He was a good footballer. But I'm not surprised what he's done, how well he's done, to be honest.
Yeah, and of course, it will be interesting. Obviously, one of the younger managers in the championship against one of the oldest managers. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully, Neil can teach him a few lessons. Let's say,
It's like granddad against grandson.
Yeah, but I mean, like I say, I've got to give it to him, of course. So Carrick has done fantastic, but I mean, he can just go easy on us tomorrow, and then he can get back to winning ways the next game. So yeah, I'm just saying. But it will certainly be strange to see him down at the stadium as well. Obviously, he's a very highly regarded figure in the football, and of course, we have seen in the past, though. By the way, I know that where players that they've had a fantastic playing career, but then when they go into the management, they can't quite do it. But he's proven that he can do it, and of course, so just because you're being a good player doesn't mean you're going to be a good manager. But he's proven that he really is a good manager, and and he will get better, and he's going to have a really good career, to be fair. And if he gets him back to the Premier League, I think he will do. Then it is just the start of very special for him.
The thing with that, if he gets him promoted, he will likely attract Man United academy players.
Yeah, of course. He's got that link, hasn't he? So that'll be quite useful for.
I mean, previous managers like Solskjaer, Gerrard, Lampard, Paul Scholes, even
exactly.
They have not been as good. I mean, Paul Scholes didn't last long at Oldham. I think 2 weeks.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. But the likes of Gerrard and Lampard, they just don't seem to. I'm not saying they can't manage at all, but they don't seem to have that that thing about them that they can be good in management so far. I don't know. Maybe it's early days for them. Maybe they will get good, but they've not really done much of this, so they've struggled, especially Lampard as well. But yeah, obviously, kudos to Carrick, and of course we have to give him credit where credit's due, of course, even if he's in the opposition dugout tomorrow. George, I'm glad. I am as well. It'd be good to get back to the stadium tomorrow, of course, and I feel like there'll be a bit of excitement as well. Like I say, with the ownership situation, it really has given us a boost, and obviously on the back of a win as well against Millwall, which nobody expected. And of course, we'll be going into the game massive underdogs tomorrow, just the way we like it. Everyone's writing us up, which is what I love to see. And the bookies are also writing us off. Everybody's writing us off in the prediction shows I've been watching on YouTube. Don't worry, I've watched them. But let's just hope we can prove all you wrong, that we, that have got us down. I mean, these prediction shows, a lot of these people on these prediction shows that they do, they predict us to lose every week, to be fair. So allow it. I'm not really bothered. But yeah, Ramsey, by the time Walker's finished taking Carrick to school, Carrick will be calling him sir. I mean, yeah, that's great. God, it's funny. But yeah, I mean, let's get into the ones to watch then. I mean, obviously, I'll go through mine, and you go through yours as well, Tom, after me. So obviously, first up, it has to be the goalkeeper, Zach Steffen, who obviously joined Middlesbrough on loan from Man City at the beginning of the season. And obviously, he's appeared 35 times for them so far as well. Obviously, he's had a few loans prior to that, obviously in Germany, and he's also an American international. He's played for the American side. Sorry about that, guys. I've my dog, my brother's dog is misbehaving for some reason. Anyway, it's all good now. So I apologise for that. But yeah, so yeah, I mean, he's 27. He's kept 9 clean sheets so far this season. And another stat, he's made 97 saves as well. He's a very good keeper, so we know it's going to take a really good strike to get past him, really, if I'm honest with you. And he's a very good. He's got real quality for sure. But yeah, next up, my second player, a free. has to be, of course, Chuba Akpong, who stands at the current top goal scorer in the in the championship with 25 goals in 33 appearances. I mean, it really is impressive, isn't it? Absolutely outstanding. A couple of assists in there as well. Of course, Akpong went through the academy system with Arsenal. Obviously, saw him go on multiple loans to clubs such as Brentford, Coventry City, Nottingham Forest, Hull City, and Brighton and Albion. Obviously, arrived at Middlesbrough in 2020 from Greek side PAOK. He's 27 years of age and he's made 70 appearances for the club. But yeah, he is an outstanding talent. And, you know, we cannot afford to be making any mistakes with him sticking around. Because he will score if we make any mistakes, and and I hope we don't. I'd rather see them, rather than messing around at the back at times, which sometimes we do, or maybe overplay it a bit. I prefer to just see us knock it out, play, can't do anything else with it. So for me, Akpom has been absolutely outstanding, starstruck of the top goal scorer, like I say, and he is going to be a real debt. We're going to have to. Maybe double up on him, maybe at times, and of course they have got other qualities around the team as well. I'm not saying they haven't, but we double up on him maybe when he gets the ball, kind of nullify that threat. Easier said than done, of course, but yeah, we'll just see. And my final player has to go to Cameron Archer. Obviously, he's 21 years of age. He's a forward. Obviously, joined Middlesbrough on loan in January from Aston Villa, of course. A very talented youngster. Spent his youth career at Villa, of course, coming through the academy there. Obviously, he's been out on loan to the likes of Solihull Moors, Preston North End, and obviously he's come to Borough now. Obviously, since arriving in January, he's scored 6 goals and made 3 assists within 13 appearances. 2 of these goals came in the 4-0 victory over Preston North End in the last game, of course. So yeah, that's my 3 players. For this game, really. I mean, of course, I know they've got lots of quality, so it's very hard to pick 3 when you're coming up against a team that has got a lot of quality. But I had to pick 3, and that's my 3, really. Tom, I mean, who have you picked out for tomorrow?
I'll pick 4.
Yeah.
I'll pick 4. I've gone Tommy Smith.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Of course. Yeah. Yeah.
Johnny Howson, Archer, and Akpom. But I think Akpom is probably their best player this season. Is sensational. Or Alex Mowat as well.
His numbers are crazy, aren't they? I mean, 25 goals in 33 appearances. It's mad. Oh, I mean, we would love to have a striker like him in our ranks for sure. I mean, anybody would, to be fair.
You know what I've forgotten? Matt Crooks as well.
Oh, yeah, of course. I mean, yeah. You remember him at Town once upon a time, and yeah, he's gone on to do very well for himself. So yeah, there's so much quality. Like I say, it's always hard to pick new players, but it is part of what we do on here. So that's what I've kind of done. So yeah, Rams says Giles at left back is also a good shout for one to watch. Giles at so Giles Ramsey says at left back. So watch out for him tomorrow too. Thanks for that, Ramsey. Akpom is a beast at scoring goals for Brentford. George says, yeah, he is, isn't he? He's been absolutely unbelievable. But yeah, let's talk about. Obviously, that is our Middlesbrough kind of take on things. Of course, we do our best with trying to cover the opposition the best we can, without having without having another fan that's from the opposition on here, which potentially may be something got to do in the future with these previews, potentially, if I can find some fans from opposition, because I think it gives more insight into the opposition, if you get what I mean. Because, like I say, we know that Borough are doing well this season, but obviously we don't have the ins and outs, and we don't watch them week in, week out, so we don't have the full picture, if you could say so. But anyway, it is what it is. Obviously we are looking, like I said earlier, we're looking to get back to that wins after our win against Millwall, which will be very nice and very, very, very much needed, actually. Like I said, the gap is 3 points, and we want to close that gap a bit more this weekend if we can. and really put pressure on the teams above. And just talk about team injury news. Sorry, before I go into the teams, before I go into my team. Sorry. Obviously, Dwayne Holmes is actually getting close to return now. Warnock said potentially the Blackburn game could potentially be the game he may be on the bench for. I don't think he'll start, but he'll sit on the bench for that one. But yeah, so he's nearing return. A couple more games, and he'll be back, which is another option. I've never been a big fan of Holmes really, but he's another option. So I'm not going to criticise him. I'm just going to say that. And Orest is in. Big up to you, mate. I hope you're doing well, and thank you for coming in here. Big up, and I'm looking forward to your show at 8 p.m. Of course, I'll be tuning in, as you know. But yeah, and he just says smash the like, subscribe, and share it. Alright, you're just such a legend. You know that. You always support me, and of course, it's great to call you my friend. Really, to be fair, the power of YouTube, if you could say so. You meet lovely people like yourself, Orest, who I can really call a friend now, which I feel really grateful for sure. But yeah, big up to you, mate. Anyway, so we're gonna go into what I was continuing. Oh yeah, so Knockout has been in training yesterday, but we'll come too soon for this game. I think in the squad this weekend. And some very much lovely news to have, of course, is that Lee Nichols is way ahead of his schedule in his recovery, and we could actually see him in a few games of the season, which we thought we were going to be ruled out for the season when at first. But Neil hasn't ruled out him potentially coming in for the final few games, which will be massive, actually, if we can actually get him back. So that brought a smile to my face for sure when I heard that. But so yeah, good. So yeah, that's kind of the injury news. No other injury concerns. Obviously, the lads are fresh. Obviously, apart from the long-term absences that we already know about. Obviously, Naki Arm's out for the season and things like that. But we already know that. So yeah. We will get through your lineups, guys. You have put some already the lineups have been posted, and we will get through those, and I will make sure I do after we've done ours. I thought Holmes was fit, but he's not. But he's not humble for him. I'm not sure what you mean. I think you might have done a typo there, Joseph. Holmes is not fit for this. He's in training, but he's not going to be ready for this weekend. Ramsey says if Ratcliffe keeps the form he's in, it'll be hard to take him back out for Nicholson. I mean, to be honest with you, Ramsey, I mean, it's probably I always agree with what you say, but surprisingly, I disagree because I think as much as Ratcliffe has done very well, of course, I still think that Nichols has more about him, and he's the better all-round keeper. For me, Nichols. I'm not saying Vaclik's a poor keeper because he isn't. He did struggle when he first came in, admittedly, but Vaclik hasn't got. He just has. For me, Nichols is a lot better than him, in my opinion. So that's just my. I mean, what do you think, Tom? I mean, Vaclik has been good, but I just think Nichols is just a bit, on another level, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. Ramsey, I disagree.
Yeah.
But I do agree with most stuff you say. But I think Nichols is streets ahead of Vlasic. Vlasic, or however you say his name.
Yeah.
He has performed well last few games. He's played brilliantly. He played brilliantly against Millwall. Made some good saves. But it's Lee Nichols. For me, when he's fully fit, he goes straight back into that team. Plus, Matic is a good option off bench in case all happens to Nichols.
Yeah, and of course, at least if it is only for the last few games, Vaclik will still have had plenty of playing time as well at the club. So, yeah, for me, I agree with you, Tom. So, yeah, Nichols, if he does get back before the end of the season, I would certainly bring him in because he has got all the quality. He's what a keeper. He's the best keeper I've seen at Town I think he's the best keeper I've seen at Town, actually. Yeah. Which I is saying
Alex Smithers is up there.
Alex Smithers is definitely up there for sure.
Phil Senior, Ian Gray, other names going years back. But no, to be fair, I do think Nichols is probably the best keeper we've ever had. I think.
Yeah, and Smithies maybe had a few more shakier moments, and he was a bit younger then as well when we had him, so that probably did actually matter as well in terms of why he made mistakes a few times. But Smithies was excellent. I love Smithies. But yeah, we're diverting. But yeah, thank you for that. And obviously, it did spark some debate. I don't mind sparking some debate in the chat, of course, because that is what that is what it is. It's nice to do that. Previous line. All right. Okay. Right. Okay. Well, I'm gonna go through your lineup in a minute. After hours. Right. Okay. We'll answer that question, George, in a minute. But let's go through our teams for tomorrow. So I'm definitely gonna go a 4 at the back. And I'm going to actually go for a 4-2-3-1 for me, in my opinion, because I'm sorry, but I think it just worked really well at Millwall. And of course, I just think this formation does allow, even though he's technically one up front, it isn't, because when we're attacking, it does allow, players to get forward. So I don't think Ward will be isolated when we attack. So that's just my opinion. But anyway, Vaclik is going to obviously start for me in goal. Right back, obviously Pearson, Lee's in the middle with Heelick, of course, and Ruffles on left back. Then we've got Hogg in that ahead with Romani Edmonds-Green, who for me you can't drop him after Millwall because he was so good in a very unfamiliar position. And I think Neil Warnock has done his magic here because I never expected him to be able to do a position like that, Edmonds-Green. But actually, I know it's only one game, so let's not get carried away too much. But actually, he nullified the threat from Millwall's point of view. The attacking threat that Millwall possess. He actually did a very good job on. Forgotten his name. That he just stuck really tight with the guy that was attacking for Millwall. But I can't remember his name. But yeah, he did a very good job. And for me, you can't drop him. And I've always said that Edmonds-Green cannot play wing back, right back, like whatever. He cannot play that position because he just can't. He's too slow, and he's just not able to do it. But when he just sits in front of that defense, I think he can do a really good job actually, and also it allows Hogg to maybe go forward a bit as well. So I don't think Hogg didn't mind going forward a bit more than usual. You can tell he don't mind it, but and obviously he'll get back when needed as well. But so yeah, that's my central defensive midfielders, if you could say so. And then obviously I've got Karoma further up with Radona and Ben Jackson. And then I've got Ward leading the line. Of course, after that goal against Millwall, you have to bring him in because I think that obviously we know Neil Warnock favours Ward anyway, but obviously that goal, I'm really hoping that'll kickstart Ward and we can get some more goals because we need goals. If you can get a few more in for us, that'll be really vital for us from now until the end of the season. But yeah, that's my lineup for me. I mean, Tom, talk me through your lineup and your formation now.
We've gone 4-4-2.
Yeah.
Last six in goal: Pearson, Lees, Hellick, Jackson, the back four. Across the midfield four, I've gone Karoma, Edmonds-Green, Hogg, Radona, Waghorn, and Ward up front.
Fair enough. I mean, I am really disappointed you've picked Waghorn because I don't. I'm not. It's your opinion, of course, but I just cannot believe this guy. He's a footballer. I'm sorry, but I just don't get it. He doesn't offer anything for me. But yeah, I mean, your life is very different then to mine this week, actually.
They're usually all the same.
Yeah, but interesting.
I've gone to be more compact with the press from Middlesbrough. Yeah. That's the reason I've gone the 4-4-2. Because it'd be harder to break us down. But I wouldn't be surprised if one picks the line that you've gone with, to be fair.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of it's hard. You know what? It's hard to pick a formation because I've just gone with the same formation that did us so well against Millwall, to be honest with you, because I think that's the safest bet. But yeah, we'll just have to see what happens. But yeah, let's go through the comments because we have got a few. and we're going to go for the. Actually, we've got some lineups as well. So, Joseph has gone for a 4-2-3-1, same as me. So Vatchlick, Pearson, Healy, Lees, Ruffles, Hogg, Edmonds Green, Redoni, Holmes, Jackson was. So yeah, you've basically said that you're going to take Holmes out now. Obviously, you mustn't have heard Neil Warnock say about Holmes what ready this weekend. So you put Humbo in for Holmes instead. So you've gone Humbo, Ward, and then Jackson. Yeah. So yeah, not bad to be fair, mate. I think it's a good shout. I think who have you taken out? Who have I not got in there that's different? Who have I put as my front? Oh, you've took Karoma out. You've took Karoma out. Yeah, fair enough. But yeah, it's a similar lineup to me. To be fair, that. I mean, I did want to integrate Humbo, because I've really liked him since he's come in, but I just don't think you can change a side that won that game at Millwall, really. I mean, obviously, I know I've changed.
You could drop Ruffles, move Jackson to the left back, and put Humbo in there.
I mean, you could, couldn't you? But I do like Jackson further up, because I think he really offers that team threat. So, the difficult one. Oh, the dilemma. I'm glad I'm not the manager.
I know.
It's harder than it seems picking a lineup, to be honest with you. But anyway. We're going to get into another line, but thank you for that, Josie. Very nice lineup. I wouldn't, obviously it's very similar to mine for sure. Ramsey's gone for a 4-3-3 with Vatchlick in goal, of course, Pearson, Lees and Heelick, and Jackson, the back four, with Hogg, Kasumu, Redoni, Karoma, Ward, and Humbo. That is a really good lineup. That I mean, obviously you brought Kasumu back in, and which obviously, for me, I don't really know why, but Kasumu doesn't seem to be favoured for with Neil Warnock. So, I don't really know, but obviously I do like Kasumu, to be fair, but I just think the way Edmonds Green plays, I don't think you can drop him really. I mean, okay, I know the, Millwall and Middlesbrough. I mean, how much of a gap is there between those two sides in terms of quality? You're looking at it on paper. I'm not sure. I think Middlesbrough have got a bit more quality actually, but Edmonds Green for me, I just don't. But yeah, anyway, I'm diverting. I do like that lineup actually, and I wouldn't mind seeing that lineup either. So it's a good shout, Ramsey. To be fair. But yeah, please do intervene if you want to say anything to what I'm saying about it. But yeah,
I think it's hard to drop Reg or Reg as one it says. The performance was absolutely quality. I didn't expect him to play that well. When I saw him at defensive mid, I thought like, oh, here we go. It's going to be one of them afternoons here. But I was wrong. And I think it's been like the Vallejo thing last season. We signed him as a centre-back, but he played a lot of defensive midfield, didn't it? So this is the thing with Edmonds Green. I think he can be a long-term option as defensive midfield, I think.
Yeah, I mean, it's still early days, to be fair, so let's just take it easy. But he did very well against me. He has to do it consistently now, though. So we'll just have to see, I suppose. But for me, when the lineup came out against Millwall, I thought that he was playing 5 at the back, actually. And I thought Edmonds Green, I didn't expect Edmonds Green to be where he was. So I think it surprises all where he actually placed him. But yeah, it worked a treat. So Warnock, unbelievable tactician right there for sure. I never ever thought I'd see Edmonds Green in that role. But yeah, if that actually keeps at the... Oh yeah, I've already said that. Sorry. Yeah. We'll go back to that question at the end, George. So please do remind me. Do you think Nichols was second choice at NK Dons a few years ago as well? He's been. I mean, I know it's just crazy, isn't it? How he was second choice. I just don't get it. But yeah, I'm glad that he was, because we were able to get him then. Evening to Matthew. Matthew was in. Big up to both. Yeah, big up to you, mate. Thank you for coming in. Hope you're well. And Adabel's in. Hello, boys. Hope you're both. Yeah, we're not doing so badly, thank you. And I hope you're doing okay as well. But yeah, welcome in. And Ramsey has put, to be fair, I wouldn't be mad if Reg kept his place because he earned. Yeah, he did, didn't he? That's what I said earlier. I think he has earned his starting place against Middlesbrough there. So, I mean, thinking about tomorrow then, I mean, what kind of game are we going to see tomorrow? Because obviously Middlesbrough love to attack, and they, you know, I think we're still going to have the chances to score, I believe, but you know, we're going to have to take our chances because I don't think we'll get many. That's the problem. And Middlesbrough, we're going to have to be very careful. So I think it's kind of going to be a game where we're going to have to take the game to Middlesbrough, in my opinion. We're going to have to do that. And we're going to have to just give it a go. Like I go back to it, focus on our strengths, focus on what we can do. Yeah, I know you can't give the opposition too much respect, and I don't think Neil Warnock will give them too much respect. Obviously, Neil Warnock managed at Middlesbrough, didn't he, as well? So he knows Middlesbrough very well. So yeah, I mean, I don't, you know, you've got to give them respect, but not too much. We've got to focus now and take the game to them in the early stages for sure. And you know, and cause them problems and do our best. But I mean, Tom, what kind of game you expect? I mean, I know it's hard to say, but what kind of game do you expect to see tomorrow, really, from overall?
I think it'd be very tight. I think it's going to be one in the midfield. But I think when we get our chance, we need to take it because on the counter attack, if in stages of the game Middlesbrough play sit back and just play on counter, they can hurt us with the pace they've got. They've got quality players up top. So it'll be very tight. I think there'll be chances for both teams, but I do think those will create more if we sit back. If we don't sit back and we take it to them, I think we could get some. So it's like 50-50 the way it's going to go, I think.
Yeah, it's very hard to predict, isn't it? And you know, I don't know how much. I should have had a look actually, but I don't really know how much possession they've had this season in estimation. You know, overall in terms of how much possession do they tend to see Middlesbrough, because they like to keep the ball. I think are they a possession-based side? To be honest, I don't really know, and maybe that's a bit. I don't really watch. Like I said, I've not really watched Middlesbrough that much, to be fair. So yeah, I'm not sure. But we always have the least possession anyway. As we know under Warnock, we don't. You know, it's not about possession with our game. So look, it's every game is difficult in this league. So I hate the narrative that it's going to be all this extra difficulty nonsense tomorrow that people are saying. Yes, it's going to be difficult. I'm not going to say that, but I think every game is a challenge in this division. It's as simple as that, in my opinion. And I go back to it, and I've said it on previous streams. Every game is an opportunity, regardless of who you're up against. And we're on the back of a win against Millwall. We've had a good week to prepare, obviously recover, rest up, train a lot. And we're ready to go. We're ready to go. The fans will be up for it. Expect a decent crowd tomorrow, to be fair. And we need to get behind them. We do. We need to get behind them now, and we need to just really be that big difference in the stands, because it does make a difference. And like I say, there has been a lot of negativity, and me being one of them. To be honest with you, I think it's been hard to not be negative. But look, the ownership stuff is something we are going to get into in a minute, and now we can focus on the football side. We've got that win against Millwall has given us a big boost in the fight to stay up now as well. The gap has been close to 3 points, so look, it feels like we can get out of this. It really does. So there's been a huge lift. I'm sure the training ground will be in a lot happier place after that win against Millwall as well. So that helps the morale as well, I think. So we're in good shape, and we're just going to have to see what happens. but we're going to get into the comments. We're going to talk about the owners in a minute. Don't worry, Matthew. So we'll answer that question. Doing okay. That's going to be, mate. Be good to see the Terriers start. I mean, yeah, 8 more games left. We definitely need a couple of wins and maybe a couple of draws. And I think that'll do us. So yeah, hopefully we can get some wins, and hopefully out of a win tomorrow. We can get another win tomorrow. Matthew said we've got a huge opportunity at the moment as Reading has their 6 points deducted. Come on, Terriers. Yeah, I mean, it's interesting, isn't it, Tom? Because I mentioned that on my story and my socials recently about Reading being deducted. It hasn't been confirmed today, but Paulins, when he spoke to the media yesterday, he said he expected the points deduction to go on within 48 hours. So Reading have been dragged back into it now. And now, I said it before, that it's another team to chase down. And Reading, in the form they're in, we've still got to play Reading the last game of the season, by the way, as you know. I feel like Reading are a team that can be got at now, once that point deduction. I mean, what's your reaction to that, Tom? Do you feel the same way about that?
Yeah, I feel the same way, but it's just one of them with football clubs being run, isn't it? It's
yeah.
I don't think it's been in a good way for the last few years, Reading. Not since the playoff final lost to us. I don't think they've been the same since then. But yeah, I think it gives us a chance, to pick up some wins. And the form that Reading are in is not good at all. They're doing I mean, they don't play the best style of play from what I've seen, highlights and stuff. But
yeah.
No, I think they're in a massive trouble now.
Yeah, and we welcome it. I'm sorry, I shouldn't say this, but we welcome it because if it helps us stay up, then I'm all for it. You're in this game. If you don't follow the rules, then you get punished. And Reading have not followed the rules in some way. I don't know the details, but they haven't followed the rules, and so they've made a breach in a rule. I can't remember what it's for, but I just saw the points deduction. I thought, get in, to be honest with you, because it's a team that really. Like I said, their form is shocking. They've been really poor under Paulins, to be honest with you. I don't necessarily feel like they have the best style play. So we welcome that points deduction. So let's just see what happens. Adabel says, if there's any more. I don't know. I don't believe there is, Adabel. I believe it's sold out now. And the last last home game, there were a couple of kids that's left in there, but. From the Paul Rams and the Tanner announcer announced that, but yeah, no, they're sold out. Joseph says, I got a feeling it's going to be a game where we sit back like Millwall game and we'll score on the counter attack, but I have a feeling 2-0 Town. I think Warden Simpson off the nice one. I mean, this lead is on nice actually, Tom, because the B team did very well midweek, didn't they? And that's an understatement. Wow. 7-1. I mean, wow. I mean, what was your reaction? I mean, Hudlin getting a few goals. Simpson got a goal as well. So, what did you make of it? And do you think that the likes of Hudlin should come onto the bench now potentially? Maybe the option from the bench because he's scoring quite regularly now in the B team, isn't he?
Yeah, I'd get Hudlin onto the bench, even if he comes on for like final 15-10 minutes, something like that.
Yeah.
Kyan Harriet again, looking lively. Pat Jones look good. Why don't we pay any first team players this weekend and just play that team that played for the B team the other day?
I mean, a 7-1. Wow.
I mean, it was like a game of FIFA on beginner.
But yeah, well done to the B team.
Quality performance.
And I'm gutted I didn't go now. I've just been so busy this week, to be fair. So I didn't have a chance to go, to be fair. So I wouldn't have had a chance. But yeah, I'm gutted I wasn't there. But yeah, fair play to them. So well done to them. We'll see if we see the likes of Hudlin, Simpson, Harrop potentially on the bench or whatever in the coming games. I'm sure Neil Warnock took notice from them doing what they did in the B team regularly and things like that. So yeah, we'll just. Although Neil Warnock does kind of like a bit more experience, admittedly, but it's just another option. So we'll just have to see, I suppose. Ramsey says pressure is on both teams. All these predictions seem to think it's on the pressure, but they seem to fit Borough, Jason Autos, and they're the same. not more pressure. 1-0 Town Karoma. Nice. So everyone feels quite optimistic for
The thing
tomorrow.
with it, one more thing, I'm sorry about the B team. Scott High scored.
Yeah, he did, didn't he? Yeah. I mean, again, I go back to it though. The B team. It's all right doing it in the B team, but he doesn't produce in the first team, I'm afraid, and that's the problem. But yeah, maybe that'll help his confidence. But just on this comment, I mean, I know what you're saying, Ramsey, but to be honest with you, the pressure might be on Middlesbrough, but I think Neil Warnock said this in the press conference actually the other day as well, yesterday, sorry, that he was asked about the pressure, and obviously, he kind of said that much rather be in Mill's position. There's not really pressure at the top, he said. I think he said it's more pressure that if you're at the bottom, really. And I have to agree with him. I think that at the top, they're chasing automatics, which is good for Borough. But if they don't do that, they'll get playoffs. So for me, I don't see the pressure. In my opinion, I think that I'd rather be in their position than our position. If you look at it like that, the pressure is on us mostly because we just can't afford to go down. We cannot afford to do it. So I can see what you're saying. So I understand your viewpoint definitely. Did he? No, they haven't. I do think it will be announced in the next 24 hours. Paulins did say if it would be in the next 48 hours. So, say 24 hours have passed and nothing's been announced. I was checking today actually to see, but yeah, maybe tomorrow or maybe I don't know. Yeah, so just have to see. Hi mate, hello there, Aiden. Welcome on in. I hope you're doing well. And get your team in to start, Aiden, if you like. We've already gone through a few team lineups already. So yeah, get your starting 11 in the chat, and we'll read it out. I hope you're doing well, mate. And thanks for coming in. Ram said that last game of the season could be, I mean, it does look, it could be, couldn't it? It really could. I mean, just imagine the winner stays up.
No, my heart rate and nerves won't be able to take
I mean, I just hope it's 3 points. I just hope we can kind of get out of it before then, and then obviously. But yeah, I know what you're saying. It got the potential to be very huge that game. I hope you're both okay. Yeah, we're not doing too badly. I hope you're doing well, Aiden, yourself, mate. Big up to you. George is going for a 3-1 Town. Akpon to score for Borough, and Ward, Kasumu, and Pearson to score for Town. Pearson does like a goal from a set piece, doesn't it, to be fair? So good shout, really, from that point of view. Kasumu to score, potentially, if he starts. And Ward, I think I do fancy Ward to score, actually, this weekend after getting that goal against Millwall. We saw it last season, didn't we? He scored that first goal, and then he got him going, and he scored a few more. So we can only hope that happens this time as well. So, yeah. A new era begins there and says it does indeed. We're going to go on to the ownership now, actually, when we get to the end of these comments. Oh no, we're not. We're going to go. We're going to go the score predictions as well next. So yeah, without ruining the surprise, it's going to be pretty for someone that child. All right, fair enough. Well, I think you're too late, unfortunately. So yeah, unfortunately for you. But if you're in Borough's position, you'd rather get Arsenal than in the playoffs. We should know better than anyone that playoffs doesn't guarantee anything. I mean, I know what you're saying, but I think there's a different kind of pressure at the top than there's the bottom. I think that's what I'm trying to say then. And I go back to it. I prefer to be in their position than ours. So, yeah, I get what you're saying. So, yeah, Aiden, get in your lineups as well, and we'll go back to those once you do post them. But yeah, I mean, score. Oh God, I hate this time because I always jinx the score, but but for me, I have to be positive. I do, and I do fancy to cause a surprise tomorrow, and then then we can all be just dropping into social media and saying, yeah, right is off at your peril, everybody, and we'll prove you wrong. Or maybe I'll be saying the opposite, but I'm just trying to be positive here. For me, I'm going to go for a town win. And I'm going to go. I think Borough will score, but I think we will score another one. So I'm going to go Huddersfield 2, Middlesbrough 1. Goal scorers, I'm going to go for Ward. And who else I'm going to get a goal? Just trying to think. Well, it's really hard to find a score in this team because we don't score that many. Maybe Radoni. Maybe I'm being naive to say that, but I think Radoni is due a goal soon. I hope it comes out. So, Ward and Radoni for me, and then obviously for them, I think Akpom will definitely score. So yeah, he'll get the goal for them. But yeah, what's your score for tomorrow? In your goal scorers?
I'm going a draw, 2-2. I'm going. Akpon and Archer to score for them, and I'm going a Jonathan Hogg to score for us, and Hellick.
Right, interesting. So I've gone for a 2-1 town, and Tom has gone for a 2-2 draw. So let's just see what happens. We really do need to be winning games. I don't really think I'd like a draw. I mean, a draw is better than nothing, but I just want to win so much tomorrow. I mean, of course, I love winning. We all will love winning, but I don't know. It's just one of the we need to win really, if we can. But yeah, George says we need them to look like fools since it's April. I mean, I said that earlier. I mean, hopefully they're the fools tomorrow, Middlesbrough. And we can we can send them home with 0 points in their back pocket. So yeah, we'll just have to see. Going to be hard but close 2-1 Terriers. Adabel says nice. I like it. So you're going the same as me. That's nice. We've got a team line. We're going to get to that in a minute. I'm just going to say hello to Yatin. Hello there, mate. I hope you're doing well. Thank you for coming in. And yeah, it's a pleasure to see you on here again in the chat. Like I said, I really do appreciate your kind comments in the past, actually, to me and to the channel. So big up to you as well. So yeah. But yeah, we're going to go to Aiden's lineup now. So he's gone for a 4-4-2. Vachlik in goal, of course. Ruffles, Healing, Lees, Lawton's come back in for you. Interesting. Karoma, Hogg, Kasumu, Radone, and Ward and Humbo. And his prediction is 1-0 town. Ward to score. Everybody is going for a town win, and I do like, apart from you, Tom, but everybody's going for a town win, which is really good, actually. I'm liking it. But yeah, just talk. I mean, it's interesting. I don't think I'd bring Lawton back in, to be fair. Like I say, he seems to be another one that's out of favour with Warnock, maybe at the moment. We're not seeing him much left. Who else have you brought in? Kasumu to come back to you. Interesting. I mean, if you do bring him in, he will always do a job for you, Kasumu, definitely. But obviously, you're dropping Edmonds Green, which I think that's quite harsh because obviously he did well against Millwall. So I'm not sure about that. But it is fair enough. Like I say, he's one of those. And you've brought Humbo back into the team. So yeah, I mean, it's not a bad lineup, to be fair, but I'm a bit iffy on Lawton. I'm not sure about Kasumu starting just because of Edmonds Green being so well, but being so good. I mean, I like Humbo, so you found a place for Humbo, and I wouldn't be unhappy to see him start tomorrow, of course, because I do really like him. So decent lineup. I love the prediction as well. I've sat for a 1-0 us all day and a clean sheet. Another clean sheet. We've had quite a lot of clean sheets lately, actually. They've actually got another clean sheet against Millwall, which was good to see. So yeah, I mean, that's kind of covered everything really for this review. we're just gonna have to wait and see what happens, really. But yeah, obviously we're going to talk about the ownership now, guys. So get your comments in as well for this. So it was announced a couple of days ago that Kevin M. Nagel is going to become our new owner, and very exciting time. I'm going to kind of bring a bit of background information about him, and then obviously I'll get your thoughts, Tom. So I was reading an article on this today, actually. So I've got a few quotes as well. But yeah, obviously, he's obviously the owner of Californian-based side Sacramento Republic, who obviously ply their trade in the second tier of the American game and have hopes of becoming an MLS franchise. Just a few quotes from an expert that follow American football and follow Sacramento as well. So obviously, about they ended up winning the league title in their first season. Obviously, not very common that really is it, and obviously the ownership really helped with that. Obviously, they kind of really drove that particularly forward in terms of the professionalism and having a really large and loyal fan base by the standard of the league at the time as well. Also goes to say, over time, I think Sacramento Republic's success helped the USL Championship move forward quite a bit, but they really laid the blueprint for other clubs to follow a blueprint. So in that respect, I think it's been really good. Obviously, it goes and say they've been very competitive ends up pretty much every year, and then one of the standard bearers in the league. There have been some ups and downs for the club over time, but all in all, Nagel's tenure as the owner of Sacramento Republic has been really strong so far. In Sacramento, I think he's done a good job of hiring good people, which I really liked here, and letting them do their jobs. And I think that would be an ideal as well in England. Agreed. He's a guy who seems to care a lot about his sports teams, but not to the point that he's meddling, which you see a lot of that in today's game, where owners are too much involved for me in the day-to-day running. You just don't need to be. And final quote: he seems to be a really earnest person. I don't know him personally, but there's been nothing to date that I've seen that indicates there's cause for concern. Or he doesn't have a terrible reputation or anything like that. There's nothing potentially to set alarm bell ringing in terms of negativity, really. But yeah, Tom, I mean, it's interesting, isn't it? Because, and I'm going to go on to the quote that he did make as well in a minute. But first of all, these quotes. I just picked up a few in these kind of quotes that I saw here. He's one of those characters that will hire the right people for the right role. He's not going to meddle with too much with the day-to-day running because that's not the way he believes. And I think there's far too much of that in this game now. So I like that as well. I really like that. And of course, he's had a very successful time there as well and really transformed the club as well over in America. So, I mean, what did you make of these quotes? I mean, it's interesting, isn't it? Sounds really positive overall, doesn't it, this?
Very positive, it's like a breath of fresh air, and I think it's something the football club has needed for the past since summer. Because listen, I'll say it straight, we've had a terrible season, how the club has run. It's been run like a yo-yo club, basically. But now this owner's coming in, yes, you can read his financial things that he's got. He has got a lot of money. But the quotes he's made make sense. We've not heard quotes like that for a long, long time. Because the club's not being run properly. It's had Phil that's not done well. And then, obviously, he got his financial worries. Dean's come in, But Dean, I've seen a lot of tweets about Dean Hoyle saying, oh, I'll leave Dean. I'm like, he's just saved us from going into administration. What, did he pay like 40 million, wasn't it? He paid off.
He did, yeah, but my understanding is he will get that money back. I don't know if he will get that money back. I'm not saying I'm not taking anything away from it. Of course, Dino did do that, but he did it full well knowing he's going to get the money back. So is it really that the thing anyway? And so I'm not gonna. I've had my critiques with Dean Harlan, and look, I'm not going to say any more about that. But I don't particularly like the way he has been recently. He really has with his decisions and and things like that, and the way he's handled situations, maybe the things he said and then gone against the word as well. I don't like it. He's done amazing for this football club, and I'm not going to say he hasn't. We've gone on a journey with him. He's been really good. Getting to the Premier League, we never thought that would happen, of course. So he's provided us some really memorable things, but look, his end to his time at Town has really let him down, I would say, in my opinion. And I'm not that's been the most fairest I can be with it, really. I'm not going to sit here slandering Haaland and criticising because I'm not about that. But yeah, that's just my viewpoint on it, really. But yeah, we've got lots of comments as well, so I'm going to get into these comments. Aiden says, just asking how much is that our new owner worth? I'm not sure how much he's worth. I mean, I did see something saying that he's worth 3 billion. Apparently. So, yeah, 3 billion, I believe. But again, we shouldn't get too carried away with this money situation because, look, yes, okay, it'll be good to have a bit of money to our disposal, in the summer. We don't need to go we don't need to go crazy on it though. We need to. I think at Town, I think we just settle for just having a bit of money to spend, really, and not actually doing how we've operated recently. Really, just spending maybe 1 million on one player, and maybe doing that. That's what the standard is, like 1 million for each player that we get in, maybe, or around that 1 million, 2 million. And then that's a good. It's not going crazy either. So, yeah, that's the way I see it anyway. But yeah, he's worth that much. Which
I mean, what's also interesting, who's going to be the new coach? That's an exciting thing because I don't think any of us know. No, none of us. I don't even think I can say any names.
No.
There's a long term.
At the moment, I'm just going to turn the light on. At the moment, I'm not sure I'm really focused on that at the moment, if I'm honest. So I think I'm just focused on the end of the season here. Okay, there's a lot of questions to be asked in the summer, and of course, we will want to know who will come in after Warnock leaves. But for now, I think we just need to focus on, obviously getting safe, and, building, getting safe and staying up, and then we can really focus on that after the season ends. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens. I have no idea who will come in for sure. It'll be interesting to see. Yatin says, "Oh, your local, yeah, our team is in the relegation zone. Yeah, fingers crossed, mate. I hope you get a win." He says, "Yeah, bless you. Yeah, we really do need a win. So it'd be nice if we can." Matthew says Terriers 2-2 protection. So you're going for a 2-2 as well. I mean, a draw is better than a loss, but again, I go back to it. I just want to win this game. I just hope we can win it because we really do need the 3 points. But yeah, he's one of those. I wonder what team he brings with him. He is. He's worth 3 billion. Like I say, time will tell. We'll just have to see. But let's not get too carried away here, by the way. But yeah, and also let's focus on the end of the season first. He wrote 40 million off with the promise he gets 6 million at the end of the season. That's how much it'll cost to run it from now until the end. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I'm not really in with all the finance side of things. Really know much about it, so I'm not. But yeah, it is what it is.
I've also forgot to mention when we're going through team things. Jonathan Hogg, I saw, did an interview with the Examiner the other day. Said players' contracts are on the line as well over these next few games.
Yeah. I mean, it's right, isn't it? They play the futures for sure, definitely, and it's right. And I just think that now, hopefully, with the ownership situation now, I think it's one of those where it just helps us all, doesn't it? I think it gives us a boost, I hope. Off topic, but which team? No, I don't support another team. I just support my team. I don't support any team from the Premier League. So yeah, it is what it is. Tom, do you have a Premier League team that you like to look out for?
Well, my granddad great was a Man United fan. Who are very close with, so I like to see them doing well. But No, not really. You know, I think there's too much money in the Premier League, personally.
Yeah, I mean, also just going off topic of it again, I loved Josh Caroma speaking to the media and what he had to say in his press this week, because I think that it just proves that he's he seems a real genuine. He has that kind of aura about him, Caroma, that when he turns up to the stadium, he doesn't look like he cares, but I think it's just the way he is. I don't think it's not that he doesn't care. He just seems to be a bit like laid back, if you could say, but that comes across as maybe looking a bit disinterested. But from what you say, I mean, okay, words mean nothing. We want to see it on the pitch. But I did like what I heard from him in the press anyway.
I liked what he said when he came to the club as a kid and is here as a man now, which I did like.
Yeah, I mean, let's get that quote, because I remember seeing that and I did smile when I saw that. I can't find the quote now, actually. Yeah. Yeah, he said, I've said before how much this club means to me. They took me in as a boy, and I'm a man at 24 now, and that means a lot to me. It would be so meaningful for me to help keep us in the division, and that's my aim. That was really nice. I think that was the best quotes of them all. Once at them, there's a couple there.
Yeah,
I think it was really nice to hear that. So yeah, I love Corona. I've always been a big fan of his, to be fair. Adabel says, hope the new owner is like Doug King. Yes, done a lot for Coventry City in the small amount of time. Yeah, we just want to have some backing and, of course, some success again, really. So that's the aim. Like I say, we don't want to be focused on too much about that just yet. We need to focus on this season. Rams, aren't we still under? No, I believe we are not, because obviously we have been, even though it's not been confirmed, we have been bought now, so that just kind of lifts, I believe, from my understanding. And so that's my understanding of it. Jesse Marsh, why not?
no, please, no.
I don't know about that, Aiden. I really don't.
No.
But no, I don't think so either. Not we don't want a reject from down the road. That dump down the road, if you can say it like that. I'm sorry. And hopefully
no, we don't want to lead reject. No, we don't.
Please don't swear on this stream. I don't need. Anyway, I did say I was gonna bring up the quote that he has made, and it was quite a brief statement that he made a few days ago. The new owner. I'm just going to get it up now, and we're going to put it in as an overlay, so everyone can read whilst I speak about it. So here we are. So it does obviously say, we can today confirm that American businessman, investor, and Sacramento Republic Football Club CEO and owner Kevin M. Nagel is the prospective new owner of Huddersfield Town, subject to legislative and governance procedures. This is the important part here. Mr. Nagel commented, I am beyond pleased to announce that I've entered into agreement with Dean Hall to purchase a full stake in Huddersfield Town. As the approval process is now underway, there will be no further comment until finalisation, as we wish to 100% respect that process. I would, however, like to thank Dean for all his help and support along the way, and I cannot wait to meet and speak to the wonderful Town fans. Once again, the football club would like to thank every supporter for their patient understanding. But yeah, I mean, it was certainly a lovely quote at the end there, wasn't it, Tom, where he kind of said, look, he's really looking forward to meeting and speaking with the fans. That connection again with the owner, it'll be nice to see, won't it?
Oh yeah, that's what you want. You don't want an owner at a football club that doesn't say stuff like that sometimes, because I think with him saying that, it's going to give more fans more positive and belief about the future now. Early days, but future could be bright. Let's just see what happens.
The signs are very promising. It is certainly an exciting time, but we need to make sure we stay on this division. I go back to, I know I'm being a party pooper here and saying that, but I'm true. We have to focus on staying in this division first, and that's it. But yeah. So yeah, I think we've covered everything really in this episode today, actually. We've kind of gone through everything. So yeah, let's just see what happens tomorrow. All I'm going to say is, let's give it a good go. Let's showcase what we can do. Don't give them too much respect and take the game to them. And I think it's a game where we're going to have to have a bit of luck as well along the way, I would say. And we need to be clinical, which we haven't been all season, of course. But if you look at the Millwall game, I mean, I know we had a few opportunities at the Millwall game, but we were quite clinical, to be fair. Obviously, Ward, when he came on, that was one of his first chances he got, and he scored. So it only takes a moment. So, look, things are in the both teams fighting for something. So it'll be an intriguing, very good game to watch for sure. Yeah. So because obviously they're chasing down the automatics, and we're trying to get out of this mess. Both teams got a lot to play for, which will make it a great spectacle. I'm sure of that. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. It'll be great to get back to the stadium again, and hopefully we can come away with the 3 points. Question for Aiden's posed a question. Final question then before we leave you. Do you think we'll see Nichols in this township? I mean, I thought you was probably missed earlier when I was speaking about Nichols, Aiden. Apparently he may be able to start in the last few games of the season. So we may actually see him again. I think that if you're talking about beyond that, I think if we stay in this division, I think he'll more than likely stay with us. If we don't, I think it'll potentially mean he may move on, to be fair, and that'll be a real shame. So yeah, we're just gonna have to see. I mean, Tom, obviously, do you agree with me on that aspect of, if it just depends where we are next season in terms of whether Nichols stays?
Yeah, I agree with everything you've said. I do think we'll see him again this season. Summer-wise, if we stay up, I think he will stay. But if we go down, I think a Premier League club or a top half Championship team will come in for him.
Yeah.
But if he's got I can't think of the word now, loyalty to town, he might stay in League One. But who knows? No, I don't think we know what's going to happen with players wise in summer yet.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest with you, he seemed like a kind of character that I bet he's thinking to himself, obviously, because he had the injury and obviously he wasn't in the team long before he got injured in hindsight. I think that he would be thinking to himself, he's got a bit of unfinished business to do at town first before he even thinks about moving on. So, and he does come across as a real loyal character, really. But again, I don't know if loyalty is around in football anymore, to be honest with you. We saw that with Lewis O'Brien and Toffolo, really. So, yeah, that was.
Well, to be fair, Toffolo only went for the money. O'Brien went for his career, but look where he is now, O'Brien.
Well, the reality is, though, both went. So that's where the loyalty stops. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter what reason they had for moving on. The reality is, Lewis O'Brien also went for the money as well because he knew he was going to get a lot more. So they both went for the money. So, it's obviously... Yeah, so I don't know. I don't know, but...
Like O'Brien's an American, isn't he?
He is, and karma's come back to bite him, unfortunately. So he's ended up in America now. So no sympathy whatsoever, I'm afraid. Maybe that's being bitter, but it's the truth. Don't forget to smash the like. Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, like I said, please smash the likes if you haven't already. Subscribe if you are new. I don't think we've had any new people in here. Well, you haven't commented if you are new in the channel. And yeah, share as well, obviously. And get your comments in, obviously, if you're watching this back on playback too. Obviously, you can watch it back on playback. It all helps with the algorithm of the video. And Joseph says, thank you, Ryan. It's been a great stream tonight. Come on town. Neil Walnuts Brown. No worries, mate. Thank you for coming in as always. And so that's it. Let's hope we have a really happy weekend and we can get 3 points, like I say. It is one of those. I mean, any final thoughts, Tom, you want to make before we leave?
With the American ownership, Dwayne Holmes is American himself, so he might stay now.
Well,
no, just want to say thanks for having me on again, Ryan. Good to see you back on streams after you have struggled, but good to see you. And thanks for having me again.
No worries, no worries. But yeah, like I said, thank you to you. Thank you for coming in as well, for coming onto the show again. And thank you to everyone that's tuned in as well. Like I said, please like, share, subscribe if you haven't already. And yeah, I really appreciate everybody's support, definitely. And more to come from me, plenty more new content to come as well. So stay tuned for that. And yeah, definitely more watch longs to come in the future. So we'll just see. But yeah, and Neil Watts Barry, indeed. Yeah, good to get back tomorrow, like I said. And it's good to get club football back again. After this international break, even though I was welcoming the international break, it's still nice to have it back this weekend now. And that'll be it. Once it starts this weekend, no break until the end of the season. So it really will be a big, big time for us. A busy, busy time as well. So yeah, let's just give it one last push and give it everything we've got now. Great stream. Thank you very much. And thank you for all your support. Yeah. So yeah, thank you all for watching. Have a good weekend. Like I say, fingers crossed we can get a positive result this weekend. Don't fear Middlesbrough, guys. Don't fear them, because as much as they are, yeah, kissing the badge there. Yeah. As much as they are the strong outfit, we still have our own strengths too, regardless of where we are in the league. So let's just give it a good go. The fans, let's get behind them tomorrow. Everyone, let's really push. Let's really be loud in the stadium. Let's really support them. And yeah, do our bit, and hopefully we can see really good performances on the field as well. So yeah, obviously we're back on after the weekend, obviously for the review of this game before moving on to the preview. On the prediction show, I'll be back next week as well. Championship prediction show. We're back next week. Apologise, I didn't do it yesterday. I was going to do it, but I've been so busy this week. I just needed a chill night last night. I was just exhausted. I mean, really busy time trying to get stuff together. Obviously, I'm moving house soon, so it's so busy.
No, you said a few weeks ago to me, yeah, that you were moving house.
Yeah,
I bet it's stressful, isn't it?
It is, and it's only me. So just imagine when people have to move, and there's a few of them that are moving. So yeah, I'm pretty much sorted now. To be fair, I'm good to go. And obviously, on top of that, I've got uni as well. Obviously, the final month for uni to go. So a lot of hectic times, but I'll keep trying to do the content definitely. But it's one of those. And yeah, but yeah, like I say, big up to everyone that's tuned in. Have a good weekend. Like I say, if you do see me at the ground tomorrow, come and say hello. I don't bite. And
no, he's a nice person as well. I have met him a few times, and just don't be shy. He makes good combos. And I'm sitting near the tunnel tomorrow. Anybody, if you see me, just come and give us a chat.
Yeah, but enjoy your weekend. Let's hope for big 3 points. Take care, and we shall see you on the next one. And as always, I'm not forgetting this time. Up the town, Neil Warnock's Barmy. I mean, come on, you Terriers. Come on, let's have it. Good night, everyone.